All right. We should be live on the joint right now. We're gonna share it up, share it up. Hey yo, before we get officially started, I want to know. Here we go. There we are. Was that Kawhi dunk the dunk of the year?
No,
What was the dunk of the year this year?
Still that Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Anthony Edwards.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Uh, yeah. Who did he smash on?
Somebody from Portland. Can't remember the big.
It was either
Was
no.
Cantor,
I
wasn't
think it was I think it was Toronto. Was they playing Toronto?
No, that was Portland. That was no.
It was somebody with a red uniform on.
Someone with a red uniform. Yeah.
Yo, last night though, Kawhi, the way he took off, it was traffic everywhere, and he said, "Nah, I'm taking the elevator."
Yeah. I don't know what Favors was thinking. Like,
Yo, all I know is he just sliced through that joint in midair, and the way he threw it down was so violent. You know what I mean? That's one of them dunks that's going to change that series, man. I mean, I guess we'll get into that.
Would it be weird to say, and don't take this the wrong way? Would it be weird to say, and like, don't take it the wrong way, but modern day? Let's take away like just our era of sports. Let's just say modern day.
Yeah.
Because of all the other talent around, when MJ was coming of age, can we call Kawhi the modern day MJ? As far as playing
Talk about
style,
it. Talk about it.
not- As far as playing style, I'm talking about through the legs, finish at the rim, usually one handed.
Okay. Modern day MJ,
Modern day.
as far as playing style,
As far as play style.
Yeah.
I think he had. So this is something I've said, and me and my man, we both Sixers fans. Shout out to my man. Oh, he be watching. We said what we saw in Toronto was MJ.
That's
Like
what I'm saying.
he
Like,
knocked us off. He
Yeah.
knocked off the best Sixers team in 30 years.
Y'all were amazing.
Yeah, and he knocked us off. And I've never seen nobody have an
That-
individual effect like that since.
It could. That was Craig Elo-ish
Yeah,
when you think about it.
yeah, man.
When
He
you think
lit
about
us.
it, that was.
because I could see what you're saying, like the modern day, because like just like Kawhi, Mike really didn't. He shot the three, but really didn't care for the three. It was
Yeah.
just all about mid range work and getting to the cup and playing defense. And that's Kawhi. Kawhi, like, yeah, he'll shoot the 3A once in a while, but he kills you with the mid range.
Yeah,
I really believe that the only reason people might think what I'm saying might be a little outlandish is because he doesn't talk.
Right.
Imagine if he trash talked. You could possibly call him the modern day MJ, play style and everything. He wants the top man when it comes time to.
he
steal.
defends the top man,
Yeah.
and he scores on the top man
Right.
or whoever they put in front of
Right.
him. I'll give you that. I say he's the closest I've seen in this era, and this era is 2015 to 2021. So the last 6 years.
So,
Yeah.
but-
I'm saying it's the modern. We're in the Steph Curry era, but
Right.
there is a MJ here.
But the reason I'm saying modern day is because remember the first maybe 4 or 5 years before Jordan won a chip.
Yeah,
That was his game, but KD was the Larry Birds and Harden and them were the Magic Johnsons. Not compared to style, but those were the bigger names and accomplished more. And it once like they got towards their peak with the injuries or getting old, Jordan kind of took over. So imagine if Kawhi play style. Imagine if Kawhi was only in the league for like 4 years now.
yeah.
He would be the modern day MJ. Play style, he wants to defend, he wants to get inside, and he wants to score.
That's real. That's real. Look. I've said he's had his moments, but also another comparison would be the modern Shaq, because where he goes, it's the power seems to shift in the NBA. Because I felt like the East was on a rise. Kawhi comes back west, and he's the best player in the West.
I can't even argue that.
Yeah, because it's hard to give him MJ because he's not with one franchise. You know, he left the Spurs. He went to Toronto, got a chip there instantly, but
I'm just talking about play
he's not
style.
playing it firm somewhere
Right.
and carrying it through the eras and denying everybody chips.
And he's not a trash talker.
No.
So you can't really give it to him. But remember, those first 4 or 5 years, Jordan was still the man. It was
Yeah.
just we had the Birds and the Magics and the Isaiahs. So you you were still kind of younger, but once we left, you kind of took over.
I feel like Kawhi is the only player I could say he's the one guy. If he's out there as a free agent and you sign him, you now have a shot at the finals. Like he's the one
yeah.
player. Like not Giannis, not Harden, not even KD. I think you plug Kawhi anywhere because to me he's the most dynamic scorer in the NBA, and I give KD all his credit in the world. But what Kawhi is doing right now, it looks like Toronto Kawhi, yo.
Yeah.
And that is the best Kawhi I've ever seen.
And these past 2 games,
Yeah.
somebody must have gotten Paul George ass because he's looking like
Indiana, Paul
not-
George.
He's looking not like Pandemic P.
Pandemic P, man. Pandemic P. Plan P. That's what he was, man. Pick and Roll Podcast, episode 14. I'm here with Super Dave.
Yo,
We got a special guest. We got Mo in the house.
he's Mo.
How you feeling, Mo? Yo, I want you to pull the mic a little bit closer. You know what I mean? That was our official beginning. This is episode 14. Thank y'all for joining us. We are Indio Group Live. Thanks for everybody that'll be tuning in later on the podcast. We're going to try to stay consistent. That's what we're doing. We made it all the way to episode 14, Dave.
Yeah, man.
I thought you was going to cuss me out by that and quit over some of my sports opinions.
Now you are. You
realize
you
I'm a
are.
reasonable person.
You are.
I'm not coming in here, saying anything crazy, saying Devin Booker is the new Pippen. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen some Devin Booker
Wow.
compliments that's out of pocket right now.
Wow.
And I'm just like, listen,
Wow.
without Chris Paul, are we...
The
even-
Suns aren't. The
Yeah,
Suns.
the Suns are the, Connecticut Sun.
But then again, are we looking at the play style?
Well,
You
it's...
could call him the modern day Grant Hill. Play style is the same.
Hold on. You said Devin
no,
Booker?
No.
What?
No,
What?
No. As far that's what I'm saying. When I say modern day, as I spoke to you before, you can't give him all the attributes of a Grant Hill.
But you can't say modern day because there's no rebounding with Devin Booker and there's no defense and there's no
But that's-
post play.
but that's the
There's no
game.
assist.
But
Yeah, no assist.
But that's the game that is played today.
Jeremy Wilson says if Kawhi can bring a chip to the Clippers, he's a legend. I think he's a legend now. Because he brought one to the Spurs. He went to 2 straight finals with the Spurs.
I would
He was the
stamp,
centerpiece.
I would stamp it. If
Oh,
he-
yeah. He's certified, stamped already.
Certified.
Kawhi right now is in that Dr. J range right now. I put him right in that Doc range. You can't take nothing from him right now. You know what I mean? Like,
And he kind of was trying to do it in the era where all the big guys were around still.
yeah.
Yeah, I could
Yeah.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
he's gonna get some approval because he went to Toronto and got them a championship.
Of course.
Because
And-
Toronto was nothing with DeRozan and Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, it was LeBronto.
But
That's what it was.
Yeah, I mean, and before LeBronto, it was always a mediocre team. They were really
Yeah,
good.
Without Kawhi-
a good regular season team.
Without Kawhi on that roster, that Toronto team is probably a 41 win team, and they're 8th seed.
I mean, it was proven this year.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah, because
But they did have some key injuries. Like
I mean, but I always tell people Pascal Siakam is totally made by Kawhi.
yeah, he got exposed this year.
Same thing with Anunoby.
oh yeah, no, those players have got exposed by Kawhi.
Yeah.
but at the same time, Siakam wasn't a scrub. He wasn't a scrub, but he wasn't the upper echelon.
You know what it was? Kawhi allowed him to play freely. So he was a raw product. So when you limit what he has to worry about and what his responsibility is, he's going to look real good. Hey, be long, be athletic, and be active because Kawhi will carry us when we can't find buckets.
And
the good Lord will make a way when there is no way. Kawhi was the good Lord.
and with Kawhi being there, you're not getting the other team's best defender.
No.
Absolutely.
Maybe
but-
now you get maybe 2 or 3 because of Lowry and Van Vliet.
Yeah.
Absolutely, but if we were to add Siakam to another team, are we still having this conversation about him?
If we would add Siakam to another team,
That has a star already?
He'll be back to that Siakam to
yeah,
where he
you
doesn't
would
have
say,
any responsibilities.
Oh, Siakam be perfect with LeBron because you don't got to run nothing for him.
So that's why I say he's not a scrub.
Siakam would probably be slightly better than Kuzma, just off of physicality alone.
Right.
Yeah, but a lot of people are slightly better than Kuzma.
Yeah, we're slightly better than Kuzma.
Yeah, I think I'm slightly better than Kuzma.
Yeah.
Right now, I think his mind is shot. We'll get to that, though. But back to this, I just want to get to the bottom of this because you're a man with opinions. And I was warned. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker and Grant Hill. Where do you see the comparison?
Just play style, just like tall, the through the legs motion, the being in a space where we always felt that Grant Hill needed that one extra person that really get him over the hump.
Yeah.
But then key injuries started to hurt him.
I just felt like he needed a coach that was going to make him play on a bad ankle.
Or imagine,
Doug Collins.
Well, or imagine if he actually got a point guard. If
Yeah.
we were to give Grant Hill a point guard, are we saying Grant Hill is Grant Hill? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like our conversations of Grant Hill might be way different if he has a point guard.
This is where I can't rock with that. It's because Grant Hill was looked at as taking the mantle from Jordan. The NBA wasn't looking at Kobe. Shaq was already there. They weren't looking at Kobe. They were looking at Grant Hill to market. That was the next guy. He
Right.
was going to carry the logo.
But remember, on the back end of Jordan's career, who did they have to really take over? You had Kobe, right?
Well, you had Kukoc.
But I mean, but
No,
you-
I'm playing.
I'm saying you had Kobe.
Yeah.
You had Tim Duncan. Was Kobe winning all those rings until him and Shaq got Phil Jackson to actually be able to put that nucleus together? Kobe would have been Kobe, but does he have all those rings?
No.
And what I'm saying is Kobe would still be a dynamic player.
Yeah.
We wouldn't-
Kobe
we
was
wouldn't
going to be Kobe
Right,
in some
exactly.
form or fashion.
Right.
I don't know how much he wins, but he eventually gets one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's the aspect I look at it.
I honestly think I think better teams could have been built after Shaq in the long run for Kobe, but the organization always felt pressure to try to throw something together, and they could get like that second three-peat. They got 2 rings off, but if they would have just took their time, I think Kobe could have. You know, what I mean, those last years wouldn't have been so disastrous. They wouldn't have blew so much money trying to keep guys, and
But
you know.
who do we blame for that?
I mean, it's just one. They were Kobe. He applies pressure. He's a superstar. And remember, he was talking about like, yo, I might leave. I might go to Charlotte,
Chicago.
Yeah, I might go to Chicago. Or even one point,
Clippers.
there was rumors he was. Oh, I might come back to Philly.
I heard I never heard the Philly one. I heard Chicago and I heard the Clippers.
Yeah, I did hear the
I
Clippers
mean,
too. He
is
was
that
gonna go
not-
across
Is
town.
that not basketball now?
What do you mean? Oh, guys
League,
moving around.
Going to move around.
I mean, yeah, it
So-
was just tough. Well, with Kobe, you had to apply pressure, so you had to
right.
constantly
But at
make
the
trades.
same time, the Lakers were supposed to get Chris Paul, and that was vetoed by the league.
Yeah, well-
so that's why I say, do we say it's Kobe's fault? Do we say it's the Lakers' fault?
It's nobody's fault. It's what you got to do for a superstar who knows his time is limited.
Right.
He understood the circumstances.
But if we give Chris Paul to Kobe, do they three-peat? Because that's on the back end when
They get a
Lineman-
if
does he have 6 rings? I'm asking if when he gets
yeah
Chris Paul.
yeah
I think he gets a ring, and I think they probably overtake the Spurs one of them years, and they definitely probably beat the Heat.
Yeah.
I just think that would have been too much at that time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. So it's,
And the veterans that would have came there, the
Right.
shooters would have came to play with Chris Paul.
Right.
Kobe would have had, it would have been nice.
like I think we probably would be talking about Grant Hill a little different if he didn't get hurt when they went to Orlando with McGrady.
Yeah, he got hurt again in Orlando. Yeah, and
hurt
then
again in Orlando.
and then Phoenix, he had to be low managed for the rest of his career.
Right.
Yeah,
That
when he
was
went when he went to Phoenix, he was just like a 3-and-D dude. You just go in the corner and you hit these threes and then you play defense.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
defense,
Shout out.
That's
Man.
missing from the league.
I saw
Oh, man.
quick question. I saw something on Facebook. All right, the Suns are in the Western Conference Finals.
Okay.
What's a better Suns Western Conference Final team this year, 2010 with Nash and Amari, or 2005 with Nash, Amari, and Sean Marion?
Nash, Amari, and Sean Marion. The Suns should have went to the finals that year.
Of
Yeah.
But Robert Horry tried to kill Steve Nash,
Yeah.
and then a fight broke out or a little tussle, and then mad people got suspended. So that's the one time where I'll give Steve Nash credit. He got robbed of possible greatness. That was
Yeah,
it.
well,
But
Steve Nash robbed people MVPs. I mean,
yeah, that's true. That's true.
I mean, Steve Nash ain't robbed nobody. It's these bogus writers.
Yeah, yeah.
Like
Right.
this goes for all sports: football, baseball, basketball. If you never played the sport, I don't think you should be voting on no awards.
that's just like why would I make the babysitter my mechanic? If
Right.
she's-
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Just because you watch my kids don't mean you can fix
I,
my car.
I'm a firm believer of the players and the coaches should vote for MVP.
I agree with that 1,000%.
But let's say you're a head coach You just can't vote for your guy.
So let me say this, right? Who I think should be able to vote are the legends before you. There's no bias in the legends before you. These
There
guys-
might be.
They might be.
You might be a hated guy.
But these guys nowadays, everybody's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got you. I
Yeah,
got
yeah,
you.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
People
yeah.
that we'll look at, because now we look at LeBron with the MVP votes. Are you kidding me?
I think it should be the coaches and the GMs should vote. And that's
right.
it.
But did you
Yeah.
see LeBron's MVP votes? That's
No.
crazy.
Well, what was? Because I know Jokic won it.
I think he only got
Running
like,
away.
I think he was either fifth or only got 5 votes, something like that.
I mean, Steph Curry barely got any, and I thought he was the MVP.
Right. But if LeBron doesn't hurt himself, is Phoenix in there? If LeBron and AD don't hurt themselves, is Phoenix in there?
If LeBron doesn't get hurt, I still think they lose to Phoenix. And now that I know what I know, you know what I mean? But if AD doesn't get hurt, I don't think Phoenix is still in there.
I don't think LeBron was actually hurt.
I don't think he was. I think he was fine at the end. He was just old.
I just
just looked
think
slow and he
I just
looked
I just
big.
think I remember when he rolled the ankle. He was out for what? A couple weeks. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, something like that.
Yeah.
Came back. He had that terrible game. And what they say, oh, LeBron's not healthy. And then he ran off like 4 straight games to where he was like 28 and almost triple doubles. Once and then then we wasn't talking about the ankle no more. And then during the series, we weren't talking about the ankle no more until they got closed out. And then it was like, oh, he wasn't healthy. Like,
Yeah.
what is it? Like, don't when he has a bad game, don't say it's the ankle. And then when he start killing, don't, oh, he's back.
I mean, I think he tried what all the other superstars did. Look what they did in Brooklyn. Look how much time off everybody else took for whatever reasons, personal reasons or anything. For LeBron, I think LeBron probably tried that on the back end when he should have started it in the beginning. Because these guys started it in the beginning. It was only maybe 2 games of footage of all 3 of them on the court before the playoffs. You see, so they took advantage of what's going on. What I think is, I think LeBron was injured. I just think his load management this year, the way he tried to do it, because the beginning of the season he was going crazy.
Yeah, he
You
was.
couldn't say he wasn't.
Yeah, he was killing. He was killing the
Him-
first 25, 30 games.
Yeah, him and Embiid was clearly like the top 2 MVP guys.
But you
Yeah.
also got to remember, and I think this is what impedes why people feel like maybe he wasn't injured, because he spoke about the season starting up so early. He also spoke out about the All-Star game.
I mean, but the season had to start early. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody was dealing with the same things. It's like LeBron complaining about the play-in tournament. Well, you know what? Win enough games so you don't have to do it, because everyone else is trying to play their hearts out to avoid the play-in tournament. You know what I mean? Some people playing to get into it.
How do you
But
be-
now we got to change the rules because you don't like it.
How do you become a legend?
By doing great things repeatedly. You got to be able to recreate greatness.
Longevity.
Yeah.
Longevity.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
In a nutshell.
Yeah.
To be
he's
a legend, longevity. You need
Okay.
longevity.
Yeah.
We're calling Barry Sanders a legend because he did it in 8 seasons. It was legendary.
Well, it was like 10.
no, I
11.
think he.
No, it was I think it was only 8.
It was only
Oh, it
8
was only
seasons. So he spread out 8 seasons and made it legendary. So it's about longevity. If he would have did this in 4, we're not talking about Barry.
Well, but we're talking about Gail Sayers, and he got hurt 4 seasons in.
Right,
So
but
legends,
we-
you can. People know greatness when they see it, and
But
it
when-
doesn't have to.
when you're injured, that affects your longevity. It does. When you're injured, it affects your
But
longevity.
LeBron's already hit longevity.
But that's what, and another thing is, remember, he's also chasing something.
He's
He
chasing
chases-
he's chasing a ghost in Chicago.
I don't think that anymore. I don't
Barry
think he's
Sanders
chasing-
was 10 years. I
10?
know it. Yeah, it was
okay,
10.
sorry. But I don't think he's chasing the legend. And
And he's definitely chasing him. He wore 23.
I mean, yeah.
I don't
but-
think there's any question whether LeBron's chasing legends.
No,
Like,
and,
he
and
definitely
I'm just quoting the words that came out of his own mouth that I'm chasing a ghost
Yeah,
in
he
Chicago.
said he's chasing a ghost.
Okay, see that.
Yeah,
I didn't
and he
know.
wore 23. He's changing his number back next year though to 6. He's going back to the Miami number.
You know, no, there's a reason why he's going back to 6. The Space Jam movie, you can't wear 23 because Mike did it. So he's wearing 6 in Space Jam. So he's gonna wear 6 to finish it out.
All right, man. I've had enough. Let's talk about what's going on today. The LeBron, I had enough. I thought he was trying to recapture some Miami Heat magic or
He
something.
trying to put his
See
stuff together.
how would it look as if he does Space Jam and he's wearing 23? We already got 23 at Space
First
Jam.
of all, it already looks that way because you're doing
Not
Space
only
Jam.
that though,
Yeah.
right?
It's like,
Listen,
come on,
Not only that.
do Mortal Kombat, LeBron.
Not only that though. Let's just do a sports thing, right?
Yeah,
Does Tom Brady play till he's 43 if he's a basketball player?
it depends. You
On
know, if he's Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, you know
right,
what I'm saying?
but are we calling him a legend if he plays 23 seasons?
Oh, in the NBA, Vince Carter's a legend. Yeah,
Agreeable.
anybody that makes it 20 years in the league is most
And-
likely a legend.
But
Yeah.
not just made it 20
Dirk,
years in the league.
Timmy?
If you made it 20 years in the league and you're doing something on a certain type of level, because how long has Haslam been in the league?
Udonis, about
About
7.
16,
16,
yeah, about
17.
16,
Are we
17,
calling him
yeah.
a legend?
No, he's a Miami Heat legend.
I mean, but
For
are we
hard
calling-
work.
right? But are we calling him a legend? No,
No,
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It's not. Even though I say it's about longevity,
Wait,
it's also
no,
about
hasn't been in the league 18
18.
18 years.
because
Even though
he came in with Wade and Wade came in with LeBron. So Wade and Haslam was rookies together.
Oh, they were okay. All right, so you
It's
got 18
getting,
years.
it's
in.
getting so bad. He's growing great patches on great patches.
You see that?
Yeah, he
You
is.
saw it?
He is.
I thought it was ball spots.
I think he's just having fun. I think he's going for like the Rodman look.
Yeah, that's crazy.
You know, the old savvy vet with the space.
I think Miami is just like, we're just gonna just give you $1 million.
He's a mascot.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah, you
he's
march
a
him out there,
he's
the
a
fans
coach.
love it.
He's a,
Oh,
No, but seriously, it's like Jimmy Rollins with the Phillies or like Derek Jeter at the very end. You know what I mean? You're still on the roster, not because you're going to make a difference, because you're a fan favorite and people love. You bring something that we can't track
a
on
certain
film.
Jenne Sequoia. something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that, right?
yeah,
AKA a mascot.
yeah. Exactly. He's a mascot. You march him out there. It was like, yo,
That's original.
for real. Oh, it's like, what's my man name? Oklahoma City. He was there through the Durant era. Nick Collison.
Nick Collison.
Are we
It's
calling
that.
him a legend?
No, but in Oklahoma City, he's a legend. They love him.
He's a Seattle Supersonic Oklahoma City Thunder legend.
Exactly.
Yeah, so you had to keep him.
Yeah, you just
He
keep him
came with the
because
team.
Yeah,
Listen,
yeah.
The last owner said, "You keep Collins on the team." Oh, I'm not signing the deal. And they had to. It
hey,
has
look,
to go like that.
Sixers kept Elton Brand. We got him washed up.
Right.
We gave him a max deal at
Right.
the time, and then we kept him a little longer, and then gave him a job. Now he's the assistant GM. So
look-
and
and-
it's not
and-
because he's making a difference.
Right.
It's because people like him.
And he's making a difference. He's
Yeah,
a GM.
and he's not a legend.
Not a legend.
They're just a Philly. I don't know.
But he's
Holdover?
But he's legendary. What he's doing right now as a GM.
He didn't really do it. Like Sam Hinkie did it, and then it got passed off to Brian Colangelo. He undid it, and then Daryl Morey and them had to redo it.
Right.
Because Brett Brown almost undid it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the thing. Like, he's still not even the GM. He never really was the GM.
You just had a rough time as a Sixers
I'm
fan.
trying to tell you, man. We
Yeah,
gave a
yeah.
head coach the GM position that lost games on purpose.
I think
You know what I'm
one of
saying?
your I think one of your superstars are you guys Achilles.
All right, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Sixers series. Let's give it the rundown. It's now tied 2-2 last night. Sixers blew an 18-point lead in the second half to the Atlanta Hawks in Atlanta. Now they're coming back to Philly tomorrow night for Game 5. You're saying that the Achilles heel is one of the two superstars.
From winning the championship, not the series.
So it's not Danny Green being hurt.
No.
Okay.
Danny Green, he's not a factor.
I was being sarcastic.
I'm glad. I'm glad.
No, but they do miss him. I will say this though, but they don't miss him that much. Which superstar are you talking about?
Ben Simmons.
So you're saying Ben Simmons is the factor. Why is that? In your opinion?
The NBA now is about floor spacing. What OKC did, not OKC, what Golden State did, opened the eyes to everything we think about as far as sports now. Look at what everybody said when Harden, Kyrie, and KD went to that team.
Yeah.
They said the spacing is going to be crazy. The three-point shooting is going to be crazy. What did they do? They hit 65 threes in 3 games. OKC didn't even do that.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is Ben Simmons not being able to shoot or at least attempting to shoot, spacing that floor out does not help because I feel like you guys are overworking Joel Embiid. and you have to overwork him. He has a torn meniscus, whether it be soft, hard, however you want to put it. He has a torn meniscus.
Yeah.
The fact that he has to go out there and give you 40, and because Ben Simmons has 8, 11, and 9, we're going crazy? Are you kidding me? That's horrible.
How you feel about what he's saying?
I feel the same way. Like you can't really use Embiid the way that you really need to use him because Ben Simmons can only score in the paint. So since Ben Simmons can only score in the paint, that's why Joel Embiid has to drift off and shoot a lot of jump shots.
Yeah.
Because there's no spacing. Like you'll have Seth Curry in one corner, Korkmaz somewhere, Tobias somewhere, and then now it's like, what do you do with the other two? Because now Joe is trying to post up, and then if Ben doesn't have the ball, what is he going to do? He's not cutting. I never saw Ben Simmons catch a lob, only on a fast break. He's not going back door. So
I've seen him go back door.
he goes
He
down
plays
to
in
the
the
Lately
dunker
he has.
spot. He
Lately-
does play it. Yeah,
he's
in the
in,
dunker
he's
spot.
he's in the dunker spot, and Joel's in the dunker spot. So now, when you got the guy guarding Ben Simmons, like, all right, I know you're not a factor, especially when Ben Simmons got the ball at the top of the key. You're not a factor, so I'm going to sag down, and we're going to double Joe.
Yeah.
And Ben won't even if he just develops a nice little 15-foot jump shot, he'd be cool. Y'all be straight because he can already attack the basket. So now if he adds, me and B-Mac will talk about this. Shout out to B-Mac. If Ben Simmons got to get crossover half court and then he puts his head down and drives, you're thinking he's gonna go to the basket. And if he just stops and pulls up, and if he can hit that consistent, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Everyone's
Then
in
the Sixers will win.
Yeah.
But what he was saying, like he slows down what y'all want to do. Embiid gets overworked, and then now when he's Embiid is the modern day Shaq. Can't nobody guard him down low.
No, most dominant player in the NBA.
So now when Ben can only score down low, Embiid has to drift to the 3-point line, and then you saw how bad he was shooting in the second half last night. He was 0 for 12 last night.
Yeah.
A lot of them was the one-legged fadeaway jump shots. You need to keep giving him the ball on that block.
So from watching the Sixers from the previous years, I would say that was 100% the reason what was holding them back the previous years. But coming into this year, Doc Rivers gave them a much better offense. And he involves Ben in setting screens, and he spaces the floor out a little bit differently. He also has they seem to have taught Embiid to pass out of the double team a lot better. So when that ball gets to swinging around, Ben can now rotate to those hustle man areas of the floor where he can go to the dunker spot because now the ball's whipping around and everybody's chasing on the perimeter. Then it goes back down to Ben, or he can get in position for a rebound. They figured out something that's made them a much different team this year. But Ben, that's still a large problem, and I don't even think it's the jump shot now. I just think I saw several times last night, Ben got the switch off for Trae Young 16 feet away from the basket, and they're going to Embiid on the other side of the court. No. That ball needs to go to Ben. Ben needs to put Trae Young on one of his shoulders and spin off and attack the rim. To me, no matter who you are, if you're one of the best players on the team, I need more than 8 attempts from you for the game. It's the same thing I say about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler can shoot, but he is nothing consistent about his offensive game.
Right.
But you cannot come into a playoff game against a hungry team and only attempt 10 shots. I need Ben Simmons to drive to the basket 17 times. I don't care if you split your free throws. It's not consequential because Shaq did less than split free throws his entire career and carried teams to championships. But Shaq had 27, 28 attempts down low. He was getting fouled and getting guys out the game. But Ben Simmons, he could score very easily in transition. He might be a top 3 transition finisher in the NBA, right? And he also has the ability to distribute. But none of that, all of that is going to be limited by him not attacking as much as he needs to. Like, it's time to be tired. It's time to leave the game hurt. It's time for you to be banged up because you don't want to shoot.
Do you think that Doc Rivers is trying to relive those Boston days with the way this team is set up?
No, I think Doc Rivers, it's the first year, right?
All right, so listen to the setup. KG, Embiid, Rondo, Simmons, Tobias Harris, poor man's Paul Pierce. I'm not going to even.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna
definitely
do
a
that.
poor man's
Yes.
Pierce. Yeah,
Poor
yeah.
man's Paul Pierce. Add Seth Curry in. Poor man's Ray Allen. That's all he's doing.
I would say Danny Green is more the Ray Allen or.
you got to
but-
give it to Seth Curry. Seth Curry shoots way better.
But
than
Danny Green is an excellent defender, and I think his rebounding, he does so many
James
little
Posey.
things
James
that are
Posey.
super underrated.
James
Then we
Posey.
miss Danny Green right now.
James Posey.
He could be Posey. Yeah, I could see that. He
So-
could be Posey.
The problem is the way Doc's coaching them. That's not going to work in this day and era.
But we're the
style-
number one seed, and we won all those games despite injuries. Embiid's missed time this year. Ben has missed time this year, and we still made it to the number one seed over Brooklyn and over Milwaukee.
How many times did you guys lose to the Nets this season?
Maybe twice, but we weren't in full strength.
Were they?
You see what I'm saying?
Were they?
They weren't either. But both teams, I noticed this year, the top teams really withhold a lot of their looks from other top teams during the regular
Okay,
season.
so-
they weren't showing each other what was going on.
Okay, so
And
you're-
guys were sitting out
so-
for no reason.
So you're a Sixers fan, right?
yeah, I am.
Do you feel like y'all at full strength versus the Nets at full strength? Y'all win the finals.
I feel like
Nets in 7.
I feel like at full strength we can beat anybody in the NBA. I don't think there's a matchup out west for us, but we have to get there first. I think we're
Let's talk
at full strength. We're a step ahead of the Bucks, and I think we can go toe to toe with the Nets. But see, that's the series I really want. Sixers fans want to avoid the Nets in the next round. I want that because Ben got to grow up. Ben, you're going to have to strap up. Now you're going to have to be hurt. Your body has to get put on the line. I liken it to the first time I saw Carmelo really strap up was when he first got traded to the Knicks, and he knew New York wasn't going to have that.
Yeah.
They had a BS.
Yeah.
In that Miami Heat series, he took a charge from LeBron at full speed. LeBron had his shoulder down.
Yeah.
I said, yo, that's the first time I see Melo step in
Because-
front of a bus.
Because like you said, it's your I'm sorry, Knicks fans. It seemed like everybody goes there to die.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sorry. Just
they
I
do.
mean, you got like maybe 2 or 3 people that
Correction, we only lost to the Nets once this year. We were 2-1. But I don't really count those games because both teams were withholding. And I know we smoked them one of them games, but both teams were withholding. So
Right.
shout out to James for that. James,
yeah,
welcome.
Shout out to James. So back to my question. Do you think at full strength, you guys versus the Nets,
Yes.
y'all win?
I think we have an opportunity, and that's because here's the thing.
See, that's not enough. I'm asking you, do you win? You're talking about opportunity.
Oh yeah, I
Everybody-
can't call it. I think that is the best. That if the Sixers have to play the Nets in the conference finals, both teams at full strength, that's your NBA champion.
So
right
let's
there.
take a poll on the Nets fully strength
versus
and
the Sixers full strength.
strength.
Please comment.
Who wins?
Yeah, people
in a
checking in
7-game
out.
series?
Please comment who wins a Sixers Nets full strength 7-game series. Because to me, there's no matchup out west for either team. I don't think, except for what we're talking about, Kawhi. Kawhi is the only person I fear from the Western Conference.
Right.
I think the Suns. I don't trust DeAndre Ayton.
So let me.
and they're
so-
gonna need him.
So let me ask you this question again, and I'm gonna just name stars in the place of Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
If Dame Lillard's there versus Sixers, Nets, full strength.
Oh, Dame Lillard and Embiid.
Yeah.
Um,
Ben Simmons and this
Trade-
guy trade out.
Yeah, trade Ben to Portland, and you'll have and you
got
had
Dame
you
Dollar.
had Dame Dollar right now, this season.
It's definitely not opportunity no more. You're feeling like you're gonna win 7.
And here's the thing, right?
Can you just answer that for me?
I
With
can't.
Dame.
I can't totally answer. I don't know because I know we'd be a better team throughout the season
Y'all
because
would-
the production doesn't drop off with Ben's willingness to score or be aggressive. But what I will say is, once you get to the playoffs, and we've seen this with Dame, do you have the athleticism and the defenders around him to cover him up on defense? Now, Embiid covers up everything. It's hard to give Ben Defensive Player of the Year because anybody knows Embiid is a tree in the paint that can move. So he covers up a lot of your holes and your deficiencies. I don't know if Dame by himself is enough.
Do you see the length on your team if you take Ben Simmons out? Thibault.
No. Like I
So-
said, I think we'd be at the top of the East during the
Right.
regular season.
Right.
But if it comes down to playing that Nets team, who guards Kevin Durant? Ben Simmons is 6'11", and he can jump as high as Kevin Durant. He's faster than Kevin Durant. And he's stronger than Kevin Durant. You see PJ Tucker giving Kevin Durant hard time. Now he's playing He's playing prison ball right now, and they letting it happen. So
I think Kevin
Ben
Durant
could do a better job.
I think Kevin Durant would still average 30 on Ben Simmons.
Okay, but here's what I'm saying. When does that 30 come? Does it come in the first half or the second half? The majority of that 30? Because that's the key, and this is where I give Doc Rivers credit. During the first half against these superstar star players, Danny Green guards them. He lets Green get worked. And Green makes it hard, difficult, but he wears him down because he just leans on him for having. Pick up 2 or 3 fouls. Second half, Ben picks him up. He only got 1 foul.
Right.
Now you got to deal with Ben Simmons riding you all the way up the court and boxing you out, harassing you, getting his hand in there, deflecting passes for 5 fouls.
I think Durant still cooks him.
That's the question that Sixers fans ask. If we play the Nets, who does Ben guard? If you're the coach of the Sixers, all right, you got your 3 best defenders: Embiid, Ben, and let's say, Tobias Harris.
You have to put Ben on KD.
Ben has to be on KD. Okay,
Yes. But does Ben really want that challenge?
If I'm Doc,
that's the question.
if I'm Doc,
Ben's got to grow up.
if I'm Doc, and I know Ben wants KD, no, you can't have KD. We'll get Joe Harris or something. Because listen, what you lose in foul trouble from Simmons, you don't get from anybody else. So that's why I understand why Sixer fans hold steadfast to Simmons, because he does so much.
He does so much. Yeah.
Right. But we watched somebody before him do all of that and still has nothing. Russell Westbrook.
But Westbrook is the problem with Westbrook is
I'm not
he
comparing-
probably should have played more like Ben Simmons and limited his amount of shots.
Right. But at the same
Like
time,
the worst efficient
but at the-
superstar ever.
but at the same
Yeah.
time,
Iverson, too.
But at the same
Yeah,
time,
no, Westbrook's worse.
But at the same time, let's also take a poll on this.
Yeah.
Westbrook will give you 40 on any given night. Ben Simmons, not so much. So if let's just say I'm not as efficient as
Ben Simmons will give you
rebounding.
40 points in a month.
But he's giving 40 out to the bench players that he's playing
Right.
with because
Is
he's
that
getting those
not-
assists.
is-
He's giving you 12 assists
I mean,
a
is
game.
that not what Westbrook's doing right now?
Yeah, Westbrook is going to give you 40. And he's going to give you 15 plus assists.
And on the Wizards, you're going to lose by 23 if you're playing a real team.
I mean, yeah, but if
they
you
got
put-
blown out 3
I mean-
times in the playoffs. So
I mean, but if you put a young Westbrook in with Joel Embiid in them,
a young Westbrook.
yeah,
But people have been walking away from Westbrook shooting threes his whole
I
career.
mean, I get that, but if you were to put him
But-
on that team now with Doc Rivers coaching them,
Westbrook in his prime?
on playing with you guys,
Oh,
right
yeah,
now,
with Embiid. Yeah, because Embiid covers up most of a team's problems.
But Westbrook also wasn't a scrub on defense,
no, he wasn't. But
right? But he can also give you, if he needs to turn it on and give you
All right.
40, he's going to give it to you.
all right, your point is that the Sixers fans should really blame Ben Simmons for a lot of this.
I don't say blame Ben Simmons,
But
I
he's the reason that we're
No.
struggling at times.
I-
Yes.
I say
Yes,
yes.
yes,
He's the reason
yes.
you're struggling at times. But I say that Doc Rivers was stuck with him.
I have a lot of issues with the Sixers. One being Tobias Harris is not a dynamic scorer. He's a straight line, attack the basket guy. He doesn't have any sort of like agility when it comes to having to change your move mid dribble, mid stride coming down the paint. And he gets in his head like, all right, you're a hired gun. But if Embiid's on the court, you need to be looking to pass first. You're the second option. Tobias has moments where I guess they do this to keep his confidence up, but he kills us in key moments. And he's the worst passer in global professional basketball. I've said this. Tobias Harris has more just like I can't even imagine. You ever coach like little kids basketball?
No.
Or you ever see like how they just throw the ball when somebody's clearly there that's going to steal it?
Right.
Tobias does that at least 3 times a game. And teams almost always convert those to 3-pointers.
You kind of
'cause
seem fed up with Tobias.
I'm fed up.
Yeah.
I feel like Tobias.
One aspect of his game.
I feel like Tobias Harris is less athletic, better scoring. Aaron Gordon.
Yes, he got traded.
yeah, that's
Aaron
good.
Gordon was brought in to replace Tobias Harris,
Right.
but he's also they found out Aaron Gordon never
Right.
developed
he can shoot the 3 a little better. And
Yeah.
all that. So I feel like with that, it helps if you go out west where that might help. I don't believe Tobias Harris game in the East really helped.
That's why I think Tobias Harris would be the guy I would send to Portland because he's a max.
I would
Tobias
just
Harris
think about
makes a lot of money.
Yes.
And if I could send Tobias and Maxey out there and some picks
I would
and
send
bring Dame back,
I would send Tobias and Ben Simmons out there for Dame Dollar in a heartbeat.
no, not for Dame Dollar just by itself. That's crazy. That's crazy. You don't give up 2 All-Stars for 1?
You just said that the man Tobias Harris is a bum and you don't like
No,
him.
I didn't say he was a bum and I don't
I
like
mean,
him.
not a bum.
I don't like aspects of his game.
Right.
Because I watched the whole game and they kill you at certain moments.
You get fed up with a lot of people from the Sixers.
I do. I just because I love my team. Are you fed up with a lot of players on the Bulls?
Next-
How did Wendell
next
Carter
question.
make you feel? Yeah, exactly.
Next question.
Exactly. It's supposed to happen.
Yo, Wendell Carter's not on my team anymore.
I'm
So
just saying.
let's not talk
but
about
he
him.
was there. You were fed up.
Otto
You know what I'm
Porter's
saying?
not on my team anymore. So
And he was the man.
What's my man name?
Otto Porter
Chris
Jr.
Dunn.
he's not on my team anymore.
Okay, but this is what I'm saying.
I mean, Otto Porter Jr.
He
supposed
was
to be
fed up
something.
with John Lucas III at one point.
All right, so look,
Yeah.
Otto Porter Jr. was a better Tobias Harris.
No,
No.
yo. This is getting outlandish.
No,
now.
no.
This is
I'm
outlandish.
taking Tobias over
So
Otto Porter.
I'm taking Tobias.
No, I'm talking about the one season he went crazy. He was a better scoring. He was a better Tobias Harris.
What season was this? Because
When-
I'm
when-
pretty sure the
when-
Wizards were losers.
When the Wizards gave him all that money.
yeah, well, yeah.
That season he was cooking.
When the Wizards gave him $28
For
million
the
a year.
Sixers. For the Sixers. He was cooking for the Sixers. This is why
This is crazy.
This is why, and I don't want to jump topic, but how I viewed Paul George before 2 nights ago.
Okay.
It was David. I'm a Pacer fan.
Paul George has a lot of Tobias Harris in him.
To buy,
He has
Paul
disappearing
George,
acts.
Paul George could be a rich man's Tobias Harris. He
Yeah.
could be, but he relies on a. I don't think he's really over that leg injury. 100%. He relies on that jump shot way too much.
Yeah, I noticed that. Once he came off the injury, he became a 3-point shooter.
Yeah. He's definitely not as physically imposing
But
as he used to be.
if you watch games, anybody he's in front of, he takes off the dribble. He can go around anybody.
but it's a mentality thing.
Right, and that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The leg injury is because once I go around you, I still think mentally in the back of his head, he's still thinking about that leg injury.
I think.
And
Paul-
I think if he was to let that part go, you could put him up in an upper echelon.
But I don't think it's as much as the leg injury as I think Paul George hears what the world is saying about him. I mean, you can't miss the stuff people are saying.
So-
Even if you don't have a phone and you're just like, I'm not going to turn on TV or listen to sports radio or talk to reporters, you know what people think about you because of your disappearing acts in the past. We saw what happened in Oklahoma City. I don't blame Indiana on him. I blame Roy Hibbert being sorry and
Please,
Danny
next
Granger
question.
being
Next
hurt.
question.
You know
Next
what I'm
question.
saying?
Next question.
Oh, you a Pacers fan?
Yes, he is.
Nah, now we're cutting deep. All right, there we go. We cutting deep now. So I don't blame Paul George for that. Nothing in Indiana was his fault. He gave them everything he had. But you go to Oklahoma City, you're getting waved by Dame. Dame beat you by himself. He beat you and Westbrook by himself. You know what I mean? Then you went to the Clippers last year. You get bounced out the bubble and you totally disappear. I think he hears what people are saying. And also, he has the talent of an alpha player, but I think he knows it's Kawhi's team.
Yeah.
Kawhi is
Yeah.
a lead by example guy, but his presence is so dominant because of what he's done. If Paul had a bigger resume, I think he'd be a little more confident, but he hasn't. He just doesn't rise to the occasion.
So the thing with Paul George, for me,
It's between the ears.
For me, with Paul George, it was one of those things where it was like when he was in Indiana and everybody was kind of like praising him, and I'm a Pacer fan, I felt like he was doing what Paul Pierce was doing by himself. When Boston was always like in the run-ins and you know what I mean?
Losing in the first round.
Always getting skipped out of there. Yeah.
Right. You know what I mean?
Getting
It wasn't
escorted out the playoffs.
It wasn't until Paul George got Roy Hibbert on track and then he got
David West,
and
George
all
Hill.
that he actually got over the hump.
Yeah.
So what I say with Paul George's game is, like Paul Pierce, if they wanted to take it to the next level, they could. I witnessed Paul Pierce one time score 2 points and a half and finish the game with 46 because he decided to turn it on.
But he has to decide. If
Right,
Paul
and-
Pierce had the heart of T.J. McConnell, he'd be one of the
No.
top 2 players in the NBA.
No, T.J. McConnell.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like
Heart-wise.
heart-wise. We're talking about heart, like dog.
Like TJ, like he know, like I'm a little guy, but you're not. If I want to get to this basket, I'm gonna get to this basket.
I'm gonna go
Oh, yeah.
at you.
Right,
And and to play next to Kawhi, that's all you need to be.
But see, T.J. McConnell is also quicker, so you kind of got to rely. Paul Pierce was a slow player. Paul George is a slow player. But if they want to go around you, if they want to give you 50, they can. They just have to want to give it to you. So what I was always talking to Dave about with Paul George is when everybody was, for me it was,
Because you saw it from the inside out.
Why would you shoot? Why are you 1 for 13? You're supposed to be our star. So I think these people painted him a star before he was actually a star because they watched 3 seasons of him score from 7 to 14 and from 14 to 20.
Oh, so you think, like
Once
he was
got
given
there
that
and they
title
started-
before he earned it.
And then he did because remember when he came in, he was 24.
Yeah.
They nicknamed him PG-13.
Yeah.
That's when he started to feel himself.
How do you like the Clippers in this series now that it's tied 2-2 against the Jazz?
I think
this is the discussion I've been wanting to get to.
I think if Paul George plays like the Paul George in Indiana with the I think they go to the finals.
So you're saying he need to play like the last season that he was in Indiana when he dunked on Birdman in the
I
playoffs.
don't even think he has to play to that standard. I don't even think he has to play that high.
Because
I
he's got
think-
Kawhi next to him.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. I think he doesn't want
First year with OKC, Paul George.
Right. If he plays like that,
Okay.
if
I
he
can see
plays,
that.
I got one even better. If he plays regular season Paul George, I think they go to the finals.
Do you feel like the Clippers are going to win this series now that it's tied 2-2?
Yes.
Me personally, I always thought the Clippers was going to get to the Western
I did
Conference
too. I thought the Jazz would meet their match earlier. Well, I knew they weren't going to lose the first round, but I thought their second round they was gonna smoke.
I didn't think the Jazz was going to lose to Memphis. I thought the Jazz were going to lose in the first round if they would have played the Lakers or Golden State in the first round.
Yeah.
I think if they would have played Golden State in the first round, they would have destroyed Golden State.
Nah, I don't think so.
I think it would have been
think
a long
Golden-
series.
yeah,
I thought Golden State
it
was
would have been a
gonna
long
get
series.
somebody in trouble.
I was going to pick Golden State in 7. I didn't think they was going to like wash them.
No,
but-
yeah.
I had what you call it in 6, only because remember this is when FanDuel is asking you, can Draymond score 7 points?
Yo, that's crazy.
Like besides Steph, once he gets tired, if Steph's on the bench, who are we? He has some good players around him. Wiseman, good.
Right.
But
he
I
was
believe
hurt.
But I believe that if Clay's in there, yes, I'm taking that.
Here's why I say I would have picked Golden State over Utah in the playoffs. You can't play Rudy Gobert against Golden State.
No.
You just can't. With Wiseman being hurt and Draymond is your center, or Looney, like when Looney's in the game, you could play Gobert. But if Draymond is the 5, Steph and Draymond is gonna pick and roll them and make Gobert switch every single time until they take him out the game.
And
then once you take him out the game, then you get Kelly Oubre, you get Andrew Wiggins, you get all of them guys just attacking the basket.
And a couple
attacking
of them
the basket.
record-setting games were against Utah this year.
Yeah.
Like, it was just bad. But
Like
also,
Draymond had 2 points, 19 assists, and 15 rebounds against Utah.
I was checking out the Clippers Jazz last night, right before halftime. I saw how much trouble Donovan Mitchell's having this series, continuing to be that scorer every game. And it's what I say about a guy like Trae Young. It's what I say about, and I love the little guy in basketball, but I don't care how good you can score. You can't physically dominate the game. And once they start sending Paul George after you on the switch off and they start game planning for you, physically you cannot get your shots up the same way you like to. You still might put up numbers, but they become less effective because you had to work a lot harder just to get that. And your team, the other parts of your team start to fall. And I just don't trust Donovan Mitchell being the guy who has to carry you.
Before we got here, he's made a good point. Donovan Mitchell was shooting way too many threes this series.
Because that's all. He can't go in the paint.
Way too many. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like when he's driving, I'm noticing guys got their hands out and they body to body on him. And they're not letting them turn the corner because they're moving their feet.
Right.
That's one thing Pat Bev can still do at his age. And then even the Marcus Morris, like the Clippers don't have Like I think the best. They don't have the best defense, but everybody can move.
Right now, Utah is what James Harden was in Houston. That's what they are. Shooters around them. Let me not even compare them to because that team has defense in Utah.
Yeah.
Utah is ranked in the top 5 in defense.
But
Yeah.
it's really Rudy Gobert
Yeah.
standing in the paint.
Right, but at the
You
same
know,
time,
like,
you
yeah.
gotta give
But no,
them just
but I give him because it's like if you want to compare that Houston team with Harden and Utah now, like he's right. Harden, Donovan Mitchell, bunch of 3-point shooters,
Yeah.
Clint Capella, Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, rim
the way
running.
he's gonna
Yeah,
score
just
is
rim
if I
running.
go
Yeah.
to him, I float it
Yeah,
up. he
rim
lets it
runner,
go.
block shots, rebounds, and lobs.
And that's why I feel like it's 2 stars that if they team up would be crazy for the league.
Who you talking about?
Him and Booker
Devin Booker and Donovan Mitchell?
would be
Who are they gonna guard?
Who they gonna guard?
I need to know this Devin Booker. I
listen,
want people to tell me
listen,
who Devin Booker
listen.
was the last 2 years.
Listen,
he was a
who-
guy who scored 70 points when they got smoked.
Listen,
they were
who's-
down by 25, so he just kept shooting.
Who are the Nets stopping? Before you answer that, what's the goal in basketball?
To score more than the other team.
Not only that, to win a championship, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Nets average 140 for the season, something like that, right?
Yeah.
Maybe like 138, 140, something like
Mm-hmm.
that. Who did you guys see averaging that much with them? Nobody. Officially, in the minds of most sports players, we gave Brooklyn the championship this year.
I didn't give him the championship.
I mean, because you're a Sixers fan.
No,
I
because
did.
they're gonna have to guard somebody, and I'm
Right.
still sticking with Bucks and 7.
Right. But did the narrative not change when you found out they're averaging 140 a game?
It wasn't a case of finding out. That's the style of ball they're playing.
Right.
We've seen this with Phoenix too. It's because they're not focusing on defense. They're just getting the ball back, whether you make or miss.
Right.
Teams that have beat them
No.
have been able to shoot as well as them.
We can't
it's
say
happened.
we can't say we've seen this in Phoenix because Phoenix was just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
bunch of role players besides Amari and Nash.
And it was gimmick basketball. But what I'm saying is this Nets team, they have 3 of the best scorers in the league, but it's still gimmick basketball. It's just it's look, can you outscore us just running up and down the court? Because every play is an outlet.
I understand that, but let's take out all the necessary bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's take it out. Who's averaging 140 a game with the Brooklyn Nets? Who?
Nobody.
Your argument would be cool if the Nets had the best record and they were the going away favorites. But right now, they're tied with the Bucks, and they weren't number 1 seed in the East.
Right, but they also
So
didn't
somebody beat them.
Right, but the year that Golden State went number 1 in the West, right? All 3 of their stars played how much? The whole series, the whole season.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Played the whole season. Just from an aspect of if all 3 of their stars played
Started
all
game
season,
1 till now.
Yeah.
are they not the number 1 seed?
Yes.
Remember, they're averaging 140. Nobody, the
Yes.
closest team.
Here's
to
my
them
problem,
in the
though,
league-
and this is the problem they ran into. Your only big man that you can really knows the game, that you can't get long stretches at him, which is DeAndre Jordan.
Right.
Jeff Green, older body. You know, we're talking about stoppers because you got to stop somebody.
Right.
So you're gonna need stoppers.
But
they
we're-
only go 6 deep with good players,
But we're
like solid NBA players.
But we're averaging 140 a game.
I got you. And quiet as kept. This is the thing about James Harden, right? Remember he was with Chris Paul. They almost knocked off the Warriors. It's because they didn't play a lot at the same time. One thing, James Harden only really needs one scorer on the court because he makes the best. He makes the best offensive decisions on the team, regardless of what team he's on. And I think the Nets were better with just a combination of just those 2 of them on the court and one of those guys running the bench unit because there's not enough basketballs for all 3 of them to play at the same time.
It's generational basketball
But
now.
if you watch when all 3 of them are playing, if you watch the Nets, yeah, all 3 of them start. But then they'll play the first quarter, start
Yeah.
making their subs. Harden stays out with the second unit. And then that's where the Nets get you. Because when you bring your second unit in,
Because Harden can run.
Harden is on the
He
second
can
unit.
run any unit in the NBA and win. Like those teams weren't good in Houston. Harden was just great, and Mike D'Antoni gave him a gimmick system.
If you don't have the most dominant big man or 3 stars on your team in the league now, you're not going to win a championship. Are we taking the Clippers over the Nets fully healthy, 100%.
Kawhi Leonard has beaten all of the players you've mentioned in the finals
Has he beaten
before.
them all together?
So
Has he beaten them all together?
what are we saying?
With a pandemic P. Siakam is pandemic P, if you want to say that, when he was winning
If
in Toronto. Do we?
We'll
does-
find out.
does-
That's something we'll have to find out.
Does Ka-
But Kawhi, we just said this before the show officially started. Kawhi is like Shaq. If you have Kawhi, you got a shot to win it.
But are we
because he seems to do what no one else can do, which is snatch the heart out of whatever team is in front of him.
if
I mean, no, I totally agree with that.
Clay don't
But
tear his ACL, Toronto loses that finals 2 years ago.
if the big three are together, Toronto loses that finals. Modern day NBA.
Yeah, not even close. Like
Yeah.
that's probably gentleman sweep.
Modern day NBA says
Yeah.
if you're young, get 3 of you guys together on a team. Make sure everybody has a jump shot at least 40 to at least 38 to 42% from the three. You're going to take over the league. I'm telling you, you are. If you were to,
I mean, you'll definitely be a top team. I just don't know if you're going to take it over because
Dame-
then how do you explain the Milwaukee
All right,
Bucks?
let's just say the West, right? Let's just say the West. Dame Lillard, Mitchell, and Booker on a team together. Only other team we're talking about above them is a healthy LeBron and AD. That's it. Everybody else, forget about it. If you put those 3 stars on a team together, we all can agree that if CJ McCullough had at least a little bit of Dame time in them, they might be playing. Denver might not have beaten them.
But it goes back to my point about the Jazz, and this is where we got off topic here. With the Jazz, right? Your backcourt is too small. Like Donovan Mitchell is too undersized, and that's been the problem with Portland the entire time. Now, if you're going to have an undersized backcourt, there needs to be a dominant big there, somebody really big that can affect the game from down low, and needs to be mobile too, so they can run the pick and roll with either 2 of those guys. They haven't had that, and Nurkic, as good, he's a good player, he's a solid player, but he's not what they need. They need size to counterbalance
but that's-
their diminutive state.
But that's
You know what I'm
why
saying?
I kind of compare them to Houston. Because what you can compare in Donovan Mitchell in size and everything, you could also compare it to James Harden not playing D at all. At least he tries, Donovan Mitchell. James Harden wasn't playing D at all. So, of course, yeah, you can shoot the 3 out of.
But we saw it in the bubble. Donovan Mitchell, you scored 36, 34 points a game, but it's going to be low impact because you can't stop the other team. You can't come down and get a stop. Donovan Mitchell can't stop anybody at this stage of the season. First round, you'll get that off because you're playing against bad teams. Second round, Donovan Mitchell's effectiveness goes here, and who are we going to look to score points? We're not getting more than 14 out of Gobert. And what do you, Joe Ingles?
But doesn't
Is that where we're going?
But doesn't that kind of further my point that you need at least 2 or 3 stars on a team to win something?
I mean, yeah, we
at least
know that.
at least 2.
I'm not.
At least 2 to have a chance. You need 3 to get over the hump.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely
2
right.
to have a chance, 3 to get over the
I
hump.
really think 2 is the magic number, but one has to be a perimeter player and has to be a ball handler at the same time.
Yeah,
and
like-
the other one has to be a dominant big.
Well,
to me,
no,
that's the
because,
recipe.
Because
I don't
because
think that
Stephen Clay did it, and it was just 2 stars.
Well, because I've always wanted to see Embiid at full strength against the Warriors, because during the regular season he gives them fits. You know what I mean? And even in the Warriors' prime, when Embiid first came in, they were struggling with Philly because it was just like, yeah, you can shoot all day, but we're gonna pound you inside.
Yeah.
And now, you can only send but so many guys at him.
That's why I said Embiid is this generation's version of Shaq.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's
I
like
feel-
there's nothing you can do with him.
And this is why I feel like Ben Simmons impedes him of getting a chip. And before it's over, by the time you go to trade Simmons, Embiid is going to be worn out already. He's
So,
injury prone.
so for the listeners, we're all picking the Clippers to beat the Jazz.
Yeah, Clippers.
Okay.
Clippers. I still like him in 7.
You still like them in 7? Yeah, I like them in 7. I'll go 7
I
because
like-
I'm just not sure. They're due for a game where they fall asleep at the wheel, but
Yeah,
I
if-
just think they're too
since-
experienced.
I got him in 7. If they go back to Utah and get Game 5,
It's
I
a
think it's
wrap.
over in 6.
Oh yeah, at that point it's definitely.
Yeah.
I already believe it's over in 6 because Donovan Mitchell was injured. And he's choking
yeah, he a
up way
little,
too many threes.
yeah, he a little gimpy.
I believe it's over already. I believe they took. I believe every time you look at his box score, you're gonna see 9 for like 20 shots.
So we still picking the Nets against the Bucks? Is
Yep.
that what y'all doing? I got Bucks in 7.
I
I
got.
need to see what James Harden looks like.
Yo, how bad was Giannis trying to find a move to get to the basket?
Did you see that?
I've never seen anything like that in my life. First of all, he took 12 seconds to shoot a free throw. They said it was a 10-second violation,
It was 12.
but it was really like 12 or 13. I've never seen that. And as much as people talk about Ben Simmons, what Giannis is doing is criminal. He should be locked up.
Yeah,
Should be
He's
elite.
He's getting away with murder.
Yeah, he's disrespecting the game of basketball.
He's another one that when I hear people compare him to like the tops, I say, no,
Yeah.
no.
But
That
he
was-
is starting to shoot the 3 and make it on occasion.
Yes.
See,
But
and that's the thing.
I think it's becoming too late.
If you dig up tape and you watch when Giannis first got to the league when he was skinny, slim like KD,
Yeah.
he had a jump shot.
That happened to Dwight Howard too. I don't know what happens. Do you think it's weight training, the muscle? You just
Yeah.
think the range of motion is gone.
Someone told Giannis like the position you play, you have to bulk up.
You have to be a sledgehammer, which is what he is. He
So
just- downhill.
once he put on that mask, the jumper went down.
When somebody should have told him, what got you here?
yeah,
This lengthy body got you here? Keep it. Work on your other craft.
And then that's
Don't do anything different.
and then that's what I say about Ben Simmons. Like he played the same way in high school, college, and in the NBA. That playing that style, no jump shot, just going to the basket, can't shoot free throws. That got you $180 million.
Right.
So now it's pretty much too late to have him try to develop a jump shot.
Right.
Unless he like Rondo and Derrick Rose, they didn't have jump shots, and then
No.
over the years
But they attempted him.
Jason Kidd,
they
But
they,
they-
all-time three-point
they
shooter.
attempted them.
But they
Figured it
attempted
out
him.
at some point.
They attempted it, but then over the years they like, all right, I'm a slowly add it in there. Unless Ben Simmons get in his head, like, all right, I'm gonna slowly add it in there. I think what you see now is what you're gonna see.
Yeah,
For the rest of his career.
And I think if he doesn't get a jump shot, I believe as long as they keep him, Joel Embiid is doomed. Because the way they're playing ball right now, it doesn't work anymore.
Man.
The last team to get that off were the Boston Celtics. It doesn't work like that no more.
Speaking of Ben Simmons, we talked about something before the air.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about it.
My good brother B Mac posed a question. Take away all of their athleticism and make them all 6'2". Who would you rather have on your team? Ben Simmons
As a point guard, who would you rather have running point
as
guard?
a player.
As a player, okay.
Ben Simmons, Anthony Mason, Draymond Green, Patrick Beverly. All 6'2".
I said Anthony Mason.
I said Anthony Mason. Because I still think if Anthony Mason's 6'2", he's still gonna be Anthony Mason was probably the first point forward that we seen.
yeah.
Him and Pippen. Pretty much the first point forwards we seen. Larry Bird, but that was before. You know what I mean? We all saw Larry Bird at the end. I like Anthony Mason because he was physical on defense.
He's a dog. And that's what I want is a
Pretty
dog.
much, yeah.
And Patrick Beverly's a dog, but he's never been I don't think his play has ever been to the level of Anthony Mason.
See, my thing is it depends on the era of basketball when you kind of ask that question. Because if it's 90s, yes, I'm taking the Anthony Mason. If it's now, I'm taking Patrick Beverly.
No, because I need somebody to run my offense. And you're
Right.
talking about make him 6'2". He's going to be
I
a
mean,
different player.
But the thing about it is, as much as we call Kyrie Irving a point guard, and yes, he is a good passer. He's
Yeah.
a good passer. He's above average passer, right?
5 assists for his career.
Yeah.
He's above average passer. But
He's an average passer to be a point guard. That's what I'll say.
reason I would take Pat Beverly now is because when you start to add those names up, the most efficient three-point shooter is Pat Beverly. In this league now, you need that three-point shot to play the game. Rondo's not still playing if Rondo can't hit the three. You're not
But
telling me everybody.
You just complimented Westbrook about an hour ago, and he still doesn't have a 3-point shot. In the Sixers, hold on. In the Sixers series, he was trying to bank everything off the backboard because he couldn't shoot at the rim
But
accurately.
y'all question didn't have.
But
Russell
he's
Westbrook in it.
evidently he's one of your legends.
Nah, but y'all question didn't have Russell Westbrook in it. This question was about Mason.
No. But what I'm saying is How can you say you need the 3-pointer to make it in this league, but then you're telling me Russell Westbrook is making? He has no 3-pointer to speak of.
But
I mean, he can make it, but
that's a
he's willing to attempt it. Let's put it that way.
right. And
All right.
and like you said, he can
Sub
make
30%
it.
for his
right.
career.
But like you said, he can make it. He can make it. That's a difference when you don't attempt it and you can't make it.
Manu Bol once made 6 3-points in a game.
But we know that wasn't his game.
Yeah. Well, it's not Westbrook's either. When I see him make one, so that's what I'm saying. That's my point.
But he's a guard, so he has to attempt them and make them, like you said. He has to. If he was a center like Manute Bol, we wouldn't be looking for him to take jump shots.
Spurs won a lot of games, and they won a few championships with Tony Parker not really shooting the three.
But he could shoot the three.
Yeah, but
At a decent
it's not
clip.
an essential. It doesn't have to be an essential part of your game. But Anthony Mason, I would want that type of mentality and that approach to basketball over all of those guys on that list.
I mean, but that's
because
why,
there's no growing up with Anthony Mason. He was grown up when he got to the league. He
right,
knew what time
and,
it was.
and that's why I said it depends on the era of basketball.
Yeah.
Because if you take Anthony Mason playing ball now is a liability. He's a liability.
No, he's Draymond Green.
Draymond without Steph and Clay and KD is what? A liability.
We saw Anthony Mason go to Charlotte and had Bobby Fields and made the All-Star team.
Listen, I'm not taking nothing away from Anthony Davis' game.
Anthony Mason.
Anthony Mason. I'm not taking anything away from his game. I'm just saying it clearly depends on the era of basketball you're in. Because right now, you need to at least be able to hit that jump shot. Like
I
you said.
hate the question though. Make them all 6'2". Like
I think that's
I
what
don't know
hate
what
about
it
too.
proves, but I would take Anthony Mason because
But-
at that point I'm taking approach to the game because all of those guys have flaws in their game.
But it was the
Everybody
original question that he posed was because he was comparing Ben Simmons and Patrick Beverly. So
There's
he was
no comparison.
but he
And
was
that's what it is.
But he was saying take away the obvious. Ben Simmons' height, athleticism. Him and Patrick Beverly are pretty much the same person.
This is
No,
my
I can't
problem.
agree on that.
This is my problem, and this is why it's disrespectful to Ben Simmons.
Yeah,
when
I
has
can't
Patrick
agree.
Beverly ever wore the weight and the expectations that Ben Simmons had to? Patrick Beverly, we've never seen him be the second best player on the team. He's always 6th or 7th man on the team.
Right. And we also know that the reason they posed the question at them being 6'2", it was kind of hard to answer because each one of them have a different set of skills. I feel like Draymond Green is a better rebounder than Ben Simmons.
I don't know.
Personally-
Ben
That's
can
tough.
get you. He
That's
gets about
tough.
8 or 9 a
No,
game.
Listen,
That's tough.
I'm not saying
don't
he
know.
doesn't. I'm not saying he doesn't. But I feel like when it comes down there to actually banging for a rebound, I'm taking Draymond over.
I
Ben
think the
Simmons.
Ben Simmons hate club, you could use you as a president. And I might
mean-
join you next year
I mean,
or after these playoffs.
But look, I can
I
also
might rejoin.
But no, I
renew
can
my
also say this,
membership.
though. I feel like Portland is a better team if you put Ben Simmons over there and you take Dame out.
I would agree. Last year that was a trade.
So
that
that's
would
what
agree.
I was saying if you put Ben Simmons in Golden State,
I thought he should have played center there. But here's the thing: if I'm the Sixers, I'm not taking back none of y'all junk parts.
No, I'm
I
not.
want Klay Thompson.
I either want Clay. I don't. Want,
Definitely ain't taking Draymond.
If I'm the Sixers,
He's Tony Batiste.
if I'm the Sixers, I'm listening to what Dame just said.
Yeah.
Nipsey Hussle quote. If I'm the Sixers, I'm trying to ship Ben Simmons out for Dame Lillard. I am. My team is nobody. You can ask the viewers. Nobody would disagree with me that team is way more scarier with Dame Lillard at the helm and a healthy Embiid and no subpar.
but here's
other-
why they're
because
scarier.
he stretches the he stretches the floor and he would give Embiid more room to work
Well,
down
you
there.
could run the pick and
And-
roll with two of them, and
Right.
you could
But
surround
the-
them with all.
But that's why I
shooters
say
and
the league
defenders,
we're
yeah.
in now, you have to be able to play like that. You can't play 90s basketball anymore. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
You
because
just can't.
we spoke on it a couple shows ago. Like the NBA is all about pick and roll, high pick and roll.
Yeah, high pick and roll.
That's all
Yeah.
it-
It would be perfect. But like I said, if we ran up against the Nets, it would be a problem because Dame Lillard can't guard either three of their best players.
Right, but
And who
Dame-
do I have to put on the floor to try to get a stop?
But Dame Lillard, if Embiid goes out, can go for 30 in any given quarter. So you do have that stability. Yes, you lose the defense and the offensive handling. But if we just said Embiid is imposing his will on the league, me and you both can agree. Dave can agree too. When Kobe first came in, it was going crazy. He wasn't a defender. Kobe wasn't a defender when he first came into the league.
Yeah, that was Eddie Jones' job.
That was
Yeah.
Eddie Jones' job. But Kobe was a scorer. Once Kobe did the three-peat, even his first season in the three-peat, he wasn't a defender. With the Brook, he wasn't a defender. But he could score 45 whenever he felt like it. This is why the Lakers were able to get over the hump.
Yeah.
This is why I feel like, but at the same time, if you're taking that Lakers team versus the Nets now, it depends on the era. If it's the 90s, I'm taking the Lakers. If it's now, you got to take Brooklyn because Shaq can't play. He can't play
That's
against the
tough,
Nets.
man. Shaq was different. He ran
I
that floor,
understand,
man.
but he
Listen,
couldn't-
man.
you
He
couldn't-
ran that floor. Like you can't say
LA
he's just
Lakers
like
Shaq,
like
LA
Jokic.
Lakers.
You
LA
know,
Lakers Shaq could stay in front of Kevin Durant at the 5.
Jokic and Kobe would have problems because Jokic couldn't run. You know what I mean?
Right.
He would. The Nets they would give up, and you saw what just happened. Swept out because he couldn't outrun.
Could
He couldn't
Jokic
get
stay
back
in
down
front
the
of?
court.
Could Jokic stand in front of a young Kobe? No.
No, that's what I'm saying. But Shaq was a different beast because he did run the floor
But
at
what-
his size.
But what I'm saying that 7'2", 335, do you think he could stay in front of
But
Kevin?
it was his approach to the game too. Is the same thing I say about Simmons. Whether you can shoot or not is irrelevant. However you get your 30 points is irrelevant. But you got to be willing to go get your 30
But it's
points.
also-
Don't play with your food.
Right,
That's
but-
what my man O said. And the Sixers right now are playing with their food.
But it's also about the element of basketball, man. It's not 90s.
Don't
ball
play
no
with your
more.
food, man.
If you're not hitting threes, I'm sorry. If you're not hitting threes, I'm sorry. The Nets average 144 season.
Well, the Sixers are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league, and it's no consequence that Ben Simmons was an All-Star this year. This is no coincidence.
How
You
much
know
of
what I
that?
mean?
How much of that percentage accounts to Ben Simmons?
A lot of it.
The
He's
3-point percent?
I think they said no one has assisted on more 3-pointers in the playoffs this year than Ben Simmons.
Oh, assisted.
Yeah, assisted. That's what he does. Like he's a distributor. You know, and you can't take that away from him. That's why I feel like the Patrick Beverly argument is disrespectful.
Right.
Because we don't expect much from Patrick Beverly.
Right.
Patrick
And-
Beverly is Tony Allen with a handle.
Right. And I feel like if you make Ben Simmons
6'2".
if you make him 6'2", they're still the same team.
But he's got elite, nearly all-time level court vision. And this is what I'm saying. I don't think it's because he's 6'10". I think Doc Rivers and Sam Cassell have unlocked his ability to facilitate in the half court. Because we couldn't operate in the half court
I
last year.
really don't think you want to agree that there's no defense in basketball no more. I really do agree that you don't. You want to believe that there's still defense in the league.
There's some defense, yeah. And that's why the teams that are left, they have actual defenders. Kawhi is an actual defender. When he gets down, he just took Luka out of a whole series.
The top 10,
One of the last people that do that.
the top 10 points this season, teams scoring points versus one from about 2 seasons ago.
All right. Are you going to sit here and tell me KD doesn't play defense? Because I tell people KD plays defense.
Yes, KD plays.
KD blocks shots.
KD unlocked that when he was in Golden State.
Yeah, but he does play defense.
Kyrie Irving is trying to play defense.
Kyrie Irving's not a defender
No,
at all.
at all.
Yeah.
But he's
it's just not
trying.
there. He ain't got it in him.
But he's trying. He's
Yeah.
scrappy on D. You can't say he wasn't being. He's scrappy on D. You understand what I'm saying? But this is the ultimate when you just say, all right, let's let reality set it. Can all three of them score 40 if they wanted to? Yes. And the league
the
couldn't
Nets?
do anything.
I just
about
don't
it.
think 3 people can score 40 because it's not enough. It's too. It'd be too inefficient. Like
They're averaging 140 for the season.
I got you, man. I got you. I think you love modern basketball.
No,
That's
I
what it
don't-
is.
No, I don't love modern basketball.
I think you love modern basketball.
I just know modern
everything
basketball.
revolves around the offense with you.
That's what it is now.
Okay. All right.
I'm an 80s baby.
This is definitely
I miss the scrappy part of basketball.
this is definitely the NBA show, man.
Yeah, this
All
is,
right.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's a show.
Real quick, while I got y'all here, let's talk about football for a second. How do y'all think this Aaron Rodgers thing is going to end?
I think they need to give Aaron what he wants.
Dave? So you think they're going to fire the GM? who put together a really good team?
Nah, I don't think they're gonna fire the GM.
I don't think that's what he wants. I think he really wants out.
Yeah,
I think he really wants out.
I think.
Oh, okay. So you're saying they're gonna give him what he wants to leave?
I think they should.
Yeah,
give him
I think if they don't get him a top wideout, which I don't see how that can take place now since Julio was really the only one.
Yeah.
And unless you're trading for OBJ, because I think he'll take OBJ.
Yeah,
I believe he'll take OBJ.
I think other than that, I think he's gonna be gone. I think like what he's doing now, not showing up. I think he's pretty much calling a bluff.
He sabotages your team by first, he's Aaron Rodgers. If he decides to come back 3 weeks before the first game of the season, he's starting.
Yes.
Right? So imagine if he does that because you don't let him go. So he decides he's going to sabotage your team, right? Come back 3 weeks before. He plays about maybe 6 or 7 games into the season. Let's say they're 5-2. And
Yeah.
he decides to walk.
I mean, he can't. I doubt he'll walk in mid-season.
I'm saying, but that's what's going on in the league today. They're allowed to do this stuff. They can say, "I'm not playing." Go ahead and take your
not in the mid-season. They do it in training camp in NFL.
At the end of
yeah,
the
they
day,
do it in training
at the
camp.
end of
They
the
hold
day-
out.
At the end of the day, how do you get him on the field if he says he doesn't want to? You got to roll him out there.
I mean, here's the problem, and this is where Aaron Rodgers loses leverage. First of all, right, and this is why I think
Lose
some of
leverage?
this. I think it's more about the GM than anything.
Wow.
I'm gonna tell you why.
Okay.
If you're Aaron Rodgers, what team are you going to that's gonna want to contend? You're in your last 2 years of being a great quarterback or an effective quarterback, because he's what 38. Rodgers up there.
something like
he's
that.
almost 40. You're in your last 2 years, right? And you're not Tom Brady. So, what I'm saying, like last year, we saw it. Aaron Rodgers could have ran that in. He didn't. He's getting real slow. A lot of his game was predicated off of mobility. You know what I mean? Like he would that was the main part of his game that kept him successful, right?
Could it also be that he wants out and he could be sabotaging things? This is why you get rid of him.
No. Here's what I'm gonna ask you: if you're Aaron Rodgers, what team is he gonna go to that needs a quarterback right now and is willing to pay whatever price the Packers want? Because I don't think he's the quarterback that you say, man, I'll pay anything for. I don't think that. I think there's maybe
How
two
old is he?
quarterbacks in NFL right now that I would say, hey, I'll give you anything for this guy.
And then-
one is Josh Allen, the other one's Patrick Mahomes.
And how old are those guys?
They're 24 and 25.
And just by business alone, that's the smartest move you could ever do.
Well, because you would have them for 10 years. I'm not going to mortgage everything for Aaron Rodgers. And then just tell me the team that he could go to, and he'll make them a contender.
Any good team that Aaron Rodgers go to, you're going to be a Super Bowl contender.
I have a question.
You
for
put Aaron Rodgers in San Francisco.
Who are
What
these-
what are they?
Super Bowl winners. Super Bowl winners.
You
And
tr-
Before
that's one of the toughest divisions in football.
before you get Matt Stafford, if you put him in LA, what are they? Super Bowl winners.
Oh, you talking about Aaron Rodgers if he goes to the Rams?
Yeah, to the Rams. They're Super Bowl winners.
Listen,
Their D was number one.
Kyler Murray just signed all the top veterans. Russell Wilson is still there, and he goes to the playoffs every year. And we're talking about the Rams. Aaron Donald, the best pass rusher, the best defensive player in football,
Chris.
is still right there with Jalen Ramsey.
Chris, you put Aaron Rodgers
On the Rams?
on the Rams, they're a Super Bowl contender. If you put Aaron Rodgers in Minnesota with Thielen, Jefferson, and Cook as your running back, with the defense being okay, Aaron Rodgers put them over the hump.
They're going to the NFC Championship game. They
I don't
might
know if he puts them over the hump, but he puts them in the conversation. NFC is a lot tougher than you.
That's what I'm saying. Any team that Aaron Rodgers go to is pretty much gonna be.
Well, name these teams.
And-
all right,
and-
we're talking about hypotheticals and teams that he can't go to. He's not going to the Rams because they already got Stafford. He's not. First of all, Green Bay, they're not going to trade him in the division. He's not Donovan McNabb.
If you put Aaron Rodgers in a Giants uniform, what are we?
wow.
You're definitely NFC East champs. Do you think the Giants will actually do it though?
No.
Okay.
I'll do.
Realistic.
But no, I'm just saying. If you put him with us,
NFC East champs.
With-
That's the most I can say.
with Saquon coming
Going
back,
away.
I have a top 10 defense.
Going away.
Receivers.
Going away. You're NFC East champs. I'll give you that.
We're in the NFC Championship game.
They're in the NFC Championship game. Y'all, the defense was ranked number 3 last year.
Yeah. No, I think the Giants and the Cowboys are going to fight it out for that division.
I think
the Redskins will be middle of the road. Eagles buns.
I think
2-15.
2-15. 2-15. It's happening. They just signed Nick Mullins too. Eagles fans, y'all just signed Nick Mullins.
Yeah,
That is the best quarterback on your
49er
roster.
fan. You're welcome.
That's the best. That's the best quarterback on your roster. So
And as far as just to get back to Aaron Rodgers,
yeah,
Aaron Rodgers in Washington.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pull out
I like Terry McLaurin and Aaron Rodgers, but
this kid
And
Pull
Curtis
out-
Samuel.
yeah,
Pull this kid out of Cleveland. Put A-Rod in. They're crazy.
here's the problem. Give me a team that has what the Packers are probably asking for, which is multiple first, top, and they want like 2 top defensive players. What team? So you think Cleveland would be wise to give up Myles Garrett 3 first-round picks or 4 first-round picks in 2 seconds?
Look,
and give up their top corner
This
for Aaron Rodgers?
This is the NFL. Like, they're gonna shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
With their picks, but at the end of the day, it's 7 rounds in the NFL draft. So those late round picks are valuable. Randy Moss went for a 7th round pick.
Yeah.
So let's bring the Giants back into
And
it.
he leads the league in
We have-
in touchdowns. and
The
rushing.
Giants have
Randy Moss.
2 first rounders, I believe,
Only because Jerry Rice
2
was,
fourth rounders. So if we go to Green Bay and say, look, we'll give you one of our ones next year and a future one, Green Bay gonna say yeah. Without asking for anybody else, 2 ones and we'll throw in a 4. Green Bay gonna say okay.
Nah, they're taking players back because Green Bay actually their roster is set up to contend right now.
I feel like Miami.
So they're not going to sit there and just take draft picks.
I feel like Miami's a valuable place.
No, they would get smoked in the AFC East. Are you crazy? Miami, yeah, they just lost half of their top players from last year on defense and offense, and they're just not even close to
Oh, okay,
competing
yeah,
with
because
Buffalo.
right.
Like
Because they lost so many
even
players,
if you
I
put
get it.
Aaron Rodgers there, he wouldn't want to go there.
With all those players,
He'd
that were there-
retire.
with all those players that were there last year, that team, if you put A-Rod on that team, they're way
Well,
better.
I'm talking right now. I'm trying to focus
now,
on
right now.
what's the location Aaron Rodgers could go to that somebody's willing to pay such a crazy price for?
Denver.
I mean, I could still see San Francisco doing it.
I still can see San Francisco doing it too.
I could see because they just drafted old boy
But their
Trey Lance.
their coach is from the Shanahan tree.
I got you, but they just drafted Trey Lance.
Right.
I get that.
But then now you could actually put Trey Lance behind.
Jimmy Garoppolo, I would
Aaron
trade for
Rodgers,
Jimmy
yeah.
and Trey Lance. I would trade Aaron Rodgers for Jimmy and Trey Lance.
Let's see if San Fran does it. Do they still have picks left? Didn't they get involved in a bunch of trades this offseason?
I mean, right
too?
now, the way Aaron's acting, I would take Jimmy and Trey. And
If I'm the Packers, I would trade him. But for Aaron Rodgers, I just don't know if there's a team out there that's actually possible for you to go to that's going to keep you in as competitive as you are right now with Green Bay.
Yeah, but see, the
Green
only
Bay
thing-
is at the top of the NFC right now. Why would you leave? I don't like his complaint because I think it's bogus.
Aaron Rodgers,
he needs help.
he wants to get out because he's looking like
He needs help.
Tampa bringing everybody back, and Aaron Rodgers can't beat a healthy 49ers team.
He needs help. He needs help. I have a question for you, Chris. Do
Okay.
you believe Patrick Mahomes is better than Aaron Rodgers?
Yes, right now, of course. Patrick Mahomes is the best quarterback on the planet. Video game franchises included.
So go stats for last year.
I don't know their stats off the top of my head, but
38
Patrick Mahomes is the difference maker, and his team was 14-2, just like Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, so you're a new football team guy. You're a new
What do you
football-
mean?
you're
I'm not
new-
saying I'm a new football team guy. I can't go their whole career. All I'm talking about is who won the Super Bowl
Has-
more recently.
No,
and
he just going off of last year.
Right,
Just,
so-
just them 2 quarterbacks head to head, just their stats. Line them stats up.
I'm going off their performance.
Aaron Rodgers and Kansas City don't look the same.
No, they don't, because Green
I
Bay
never-
Green Bay is a top team. But they run a much different
I would
operation
I would
than
never-
what the Kansas City Chiefs run.
I would
Kansas
never
City Chiefs
ever think you would speak blasphemy.
Kansas City Chiefs can score from anywhere on the field. They could be on their own 19.
And you're
They'll
saying
send it
without
to the house
you're,
every time.
You're saying without Aaron Rodgers, with Aaron Rodgers there, they're not the same. You're saying that Pat Mahomes is way better.
No, they're not. No, they're not. Because a lot of what Kansas City does is Mahomes being able to improvise. He breaks the play himself just to give guys extra time to get open.
You know
a
how
lot of
many
times.
touchdowns Aaron Rodgers threw to one receiver last year? Just one. He only has one receiver. Give me another player in Green Bay. Chill, because the fact that you're holding on to that.
Dave, pull up because I'm gonna blow your argument up. Pull up
I can't wait
Patrick
to see you do
Mahomes'
this.
rushing stats last year. That's the difference between Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. That's the difference between Aaron Rodgers now and the old Aaron Rodgers. He's not the quarterback he used to be. They drafted a quarterback. He's upset.
Dave,
He's
just-
complaining.
Can you tell them how many touchdowns and interceptions 38-year-old Aaron Rodgers threw last year?
What do you have? 38 touchdowns?
38 now. I think you need to look that up.
38 and 5, I think.
No. It was 48 and 5.
What were
was.
Patrick Mahomes' 2020 stats? There we go. Let's see. 2020 season. So Patrick Mahomes, I think this is disrespectful to Mahomes, first of all.
How many touchdowns did he throw?
This is out of pocket. All right, so Patrick Mahomes, he completed 66% of his passes for 4,700 yards last year,
How many
38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions.
Okay.
All right, let's look at his rushing stats too. Patrick Mahomes, 62 carries, 308 yards. He ran for 2 touchdowns as well, and he was hurt this last year.
Who said he was hurt? He did, or
No, he hurt his knee this past year. He hurt his knee. Remember, he had the brace on, and he had to chill out, but he was still carving teams up. They were still winning games.
He had the brace on the year before.
No, he got hurt this past year too.
You said what was Patrick Mahomes' stats?
4,700 yards, 38 touchdowns, 6 interceptions,
And what was his completion percentage?
66.
Aaron Rodgers' completion percentage was 70.7,
Okay.
48 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. QB rating was 121.
Okay.
His yards
His team was
was
14-2, right?
yards was 40, almost 4,300 yards, 42.99.
I guarantee if you go game by game, look at their division. Minnesota, non-playoff
Green
team.
Bay was 13-3.
Non-playoff team. Chiefs were 14-2. So,
Oh, you talk. Wait,
all right.
are
No,
you
were they
talking-
15-1?
That division is horrible.
Yeah,
the Chiefs
yeah.
division
No,
is horrible.
Uh,
The
they-
Chiefs division is
Kansas
horrible.
City. Kansas City was 14-2 because they lost.
Yeah,
the
they were
last-
14-2.
They lost
Yeah,
the last.
and Buffalo was 13-3. Okay, we were 1 game behind them. What I'm
that
saying
division
though,
is horrible.
But yeah, when you play the Lions twice, you play the Bears twice, and you play the Vikings
When you
twice.
play the
and
Broncos
and the
twice,
Chargers weren't
when you
horrible.
play the
They just
Bron-
couldn't close out games
When you
because
play
Justin
the
Herbert's a
Broncos
young
twice,
buck.
when you play the Raiders twice, and when you like those are.
I promise you this: Aaron Rodgers does not want to go to the NFC West and face Justin Herbert and Patrick Mahomes. Simple
mean
as that.
in-
I don't think he does. I think he just wants that GM fired. I think it's personal. They have words that they can't
How many
take
rushing
back.
yards did Patrick Mahomes have?
Patrick Mahomes had 322 or something like that.
Rushing yards.
Yeah.
Aaron had 150.
Exactly, because he's old, and
He
that's a
had 10
career
more-
low.
he had
that's
10
a career low.
He has 10 more touchdowns. That's,
That's
70
crazy.
more points.
Y'all been drinking the Stephen A. Smith juice on Aaron Rodgers, and that's cool too, man.
See, you young guys. you're losing your
SAS,
mind,
man. SAS, man. Y'all
guys
supporting
losing your
Stephen A,
mind,
man. Because Aaron Rodgers is
I'm
not
sorry.
that guy anymore.
I thought they said numbers lie. They said men lie, women lie. Numbers don't. At
So
38 years old.
We're talking about Patrick Mahomes here.
what he's saying is if you just trade them straight up, how will Patrick Mahomes' numbers look in Green Bay with just Devontae Adams?
They don't look like that.
And how would Aaron Rodgers' numbers look with Tyreek and Kelsey and Nicole Hardman and
This team,
Sammy Watkins when he was there? And
Dave, not to cut you
No,
off.
they would
Dave.
be a top team, but the problem is Aaron Rodgers can't break the pocket
They
and make
were-
the things happen that Patrick Mahomes made. There's
They
just
were-
another facet to the game
They were
that
12
he can't
and 4
replicate.
with Alex Smith. I repeat, they were 12.
Look, Andy Reid is a
and
genius.
4.
Andy Reid can put a good quarterback back there and still be successful.
Is he the-
But we're talking about Patrick Mahomes. This is his time.
Is he still that
Don't
successful?
take that man's flowers.
I'm not going to do that. I'm definitely not going to
Yo,
do that.
you're taking
But
that
is,
man
is he
flowers
still
right now.
is he still the same man in Chicago?
Who are you talking about?
Pat Mahomes.
Chicago's probably a much better team. They probably actually make the
Is
playoffs.
he Patrick Mahomes?
We're talking about Mitch Trubisky and Nick Foles.
Is he Patrick Mahomes in Chicago?
Patrick Mahomes is right now. The Patrick Mahomes right now is Patrick Mahomes anywhere you put him in the
Is
league.
he Patrick Mahomes in
If
Chicago?
Patrick Mahomes get drafted by the Jaguars, we're still talking about him.
That's why I said Patrick Mahomes right now. Where you get drafted and how you develop matters. Because Aaron Rodgers had to get drafted and develop behind Brett
He
Favre.
was silver
That
spoon
matters.
fed.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers was definitely silver spoon fed.
Patrick
No,
Mahomes.
Patrick
was given-
Mahomes was
What?
silver
Aaron Rodgers
spoon.
came in with Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, Jermichael Finley, and Donald Driver.
got a ring out
He
of it.
had a team that lost to the Giants in the NFC Championship.
And he has a ring out
I'm
of it
a
also.
historian, sir.
He also has a ring out of
and
it.
Patrick Mahomes came into Tyreek Hill and
and
Travis
that's
Kelsey.
true. So,
And they were 12-4 with
but
Alex
you're
Smith.
not going to penalize Patrick Mahomes and,
No,
and,
we're-
and,
no.
and not take that away from
No,
Aaron
no, no.
Rodgers
We're
as
not.
well.
We're not penalizing.
So I
we're
said Patrick Mahomes right now, the quarterback he became right now. If the Chiefs say, you know what, let's wild out and trade him somewhere, he's going to be Patrick Mahomes wherever
And-
because he makes teams better.
and if Patrick Mahomes, if they say, all right, we're just going to trade you to the Jacksonville Jaguars, are the Jacksonville Jaguars Super Bowl contenders?
Urban Meyer's a genius. They be in the playoffs.
Come on, Chris.
They be in the playoffs. I don't know if they're Super Bowl
Chris,
contenders.
I didn't have you down for this.
Yo, Aaron Rodgers doesn't go there and make them contenders. But they make the playoffs.
I do. I never had you down for this.
Listen,
I can see. I know what it is.
Jaguars have talent. They just never had a quarterback.
You made Patrick Mahomes.
You was gonna shit on Mark
legendary
Brunell?
already.
No, I'm talking about in recent memory. We're talking about Blake Bortles.
You made Patrick Mahomes a legend already.
He is a legend. The man went to 2 Super Bowls in the last 2 years and won one. Winning the Super Bowl is the hardest championship in professional sports.
Russell Wilson did
has
it.
one.
Huh?
Russell Wilson went to 2 straight Super Bowls.
Yeah, Russell Wilson's a legend. He's going down Hall of Fame, top 20 quarterback of all time. If you ask me, he's up there. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes is going to be there at about year 8 or 9, no matter what happens.
So if Patrick Mahomes gets injured, are we calling him the Gilbert Arenas?
He's
of
getting
football?
Gale Sayers then. Yes, he is.
If Gale Sayers or Gilbert Arenas?
No, Gilbert Arenas will never be a Hall of Famer. But Patrick Mahomes is getting Gale Sayers. If Patrick Mahomes, God forbid, his career ended from an injury this season,
Shout out to
he's
Gilbert
going
Arenas,
to
too.
the
One of my
Hall of
favorite
Fame. He is. This is Patrick Mahomes' time.
But the thing about Gilbert,
This is Steph Curry 2017, 2016.
the thing about Patrick Mahomes is, if Gilbert Arenas had that time to play longer, yes, he would
I
have been.
can't believe
But
we're
he's been
putting
2
Gilbert
seasons.
Arenas on the level. Gilbert Arenas was never the best player in the NFL or in the NBA. Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the NFL. Much tougher league.
When Kobe was the man, he would argue that with you. He would tell you that Gilbert Arenas was the hardest one to guard.
That doesn't mean best player in the
No,
league.
it doesn't mean that. But
Gilbert Arenas was never up for MVP because his teams didn't win.
But Patrick Mahomes' numbers also show
Yo, we have
that he's
disrespected.
not the best
So
player in the
we've
league.
disrespected.
Aaron
who?
Rodgers is the best quarterback in the league.
We've disrespected
Besides
Patrick
Tom Brady
Mahomes
winning
today.
rings.
We've disrespected a lot of people on this podcast.
I don't
We
know about
disrespected
disrespect.
Ben Simmons
I
mad
think-
times
I think
by
we're-
comparing him to Patrick
I think
Beverly.
we're calling a spade a spade.
Nah, man, this is crazy.
I've seen it before.
Yo, listen.
I've seen it before.
This was a great episode, Mo. I definitely enjoyed it. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I really will. Really, we gotta wrap it. But listen, I like this discussion. You brought something different this week. This is nuts. I want people to comment on this. We gotta get the comments up on this. And I'm putting up a poll.
I'm sorry.
Listen, Patrick Mahomes, this is his time, my man. And I'm a
He's a
Josh
great-
Allen guy. This is his time.
Listen, people. He's a great quarterback. What I want people to not do is give them legendary status before, knock on wood, an injury or
NFL's totally different.
right.
NFL's
but
totally different.
injuries do happen. They do happen.
Okay.
You understand what I'm
NFL's
saying?
totally different.
Right, but injuries do happen. So we can't make a person
Okay.
legendary after 2 seasons, and then they get us some rash of injuries. Now what?
But it hasn't been 2 seasons. It's been about, what, 5?
He's been in the league.
already
I'm talking about I'm talking about the championship, and then he's been in the league for. This is coming up as either his 4th or his 5th.
This is Mahomes.
Because he was a rookie. He sat the bench for 1 season. So this might be his 5th season.
Might be his
only 4
fifth.
seasons.
Yeah,
played.
I think it's his 5th.
Yeah.
Because he lost to Tom Brady and them.
Listen,
in
man.
in the playoffs.
I
And then
know
he
it when
won
I see it.
and then he lost it.
Randy Moss was a legend his rookie year. Don't tell me no different. 19 touchdowns.
Randy Moss was a legend at the end of his career too. He got the lead. He got the most
But
touchdowns in one season.
Patrick Mahomes is on that level. It's undeniable.
Right.
And you compared him to Gilbert Arenas.
I just
For
don't.
2 seasons.
I just don't think Patrick Mahomes can ever be the GOAT quarterback.
Why?
Because of what Brady did to him twice. Just like as much as I love Brady, and you got to give it to him.
Oh, Brady's the GOAT.
Definitely
But I'm saying, like,
But Eli's
once Brady retire and then Mahomes keep playing and then get the numbers, I just
So
think
he could be number 2.
he could be number 2.
He can beat out Montana.
Yeah,
He's my number 2.
I don't think the way he lost that Super Bowl, like Tom Brady, we all say Tom Brady's a GOAT.
Yeah.
Two of your most important games of your career, you lost to Tom Brady. You lost to him in the AFC Championship game, and then you lost to him in the Super Bowl. I don't think you can ever jump him. I don't think you can
I'll
ever
give you
jump because you lost to him. It wasn't like you lost you lost him head to head.
If he beats Brady
times.
this year, can he jump?
No. He needs to win. It needs to mean something. It can't just be a regular season win.
No, if he beats Brady in the Super Bowl this year, can he get that back?
I don't
He would have to win 9 Super what?
I don't think
How
so.
many rings Brady got?
Brady got
8,
7.
7, 8.
Yeah, man.
He
7
would have to
rings,
get 8
man.
rings.
Crazy.
Times are different, man. You can't hit nobody.
I
Can't hit
never
nobody.
thought I have a show where we would disrespect Ben Simmons, Patrick Mahomes, and I'm giving props to Brady on the way out.
And,
Man. That's
and-
wild, yo.
And it's crazy because
wild.
to all
This guy's wild.
the Chiefs fans, I'm not disrespecting Pat Mahomes. I'm just saying we've seen this before. We've seen somebody take off for 2
I'm gonna
seasons straight.
chop up this segment. That's what we gotta do. That's what we're gonna do. This is my project for the week.
Man,
But you know what? Thank you for coming, Mo. You know what I'm saying?
no problem.
I gotta get you off this mic.
Yeah.
Dave, man, Super League, man. You're starting up again.
Yeah, trying to start it. Trying to get the next one September 26th.
Mo, we gonna see you in the league? You on ball?
No, he's done up. He's
Oh,
done.
all right,
He's
yeah.
done.
Done
He's
up.
done. He's
All
done. I might do 2 days a week.
So 2 games a week.
Might be like Wednesday evening, Sunday morning.
That's what's up.
Trying to get a Super Women's League. I'm trying to get that off the
Women's
ground.
basketball, man.
Nice.
Try to get that off the ground, and probably I'm gonna try to get something with the kids. I'm gonna try to get a league for the youth jumping around. You know what I mean? We had it when we was growing up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I definitely want to be a part of that. I think that's something our community needs, man.
Yeah.
That whole area of South Jersey, man. We gotta light that path, man.
Yeah, man.
You know what I mean? Get these kids on the court and off these streets, man.
Plus, basketball is fun.
Yeah, like Dave said, you meet a lot of great people playing sports, man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many people I wouldn't have met or even socialized with had it not been for the community rec center where we got the ball at as kids.
And I think life kind of transitioned into sports too, because if you give it all in sports, you win. You give it all in life, you win.
Yeah, that's
You know
true,
what I
man.
mean? So
That's
I
true.
I feel like basketball kind of helps. You just look at it from any perspective.
Yeah,
So,
man.
I think that's
Yeah.
dope for the kids.
So yo,
And
Super
they stay
League
off the
taking
street.
off, man. Let's get it started, man. Everybody support. We're gonna post that information. We're gonna continue to talk about it and drum it up. And I got a few places I can share that too. You know, especially for the women's league. I know there's some women ballers out there that want to get it in.
Yeah, I'm looking to I know I'm not gonna have, because in the Super League we got 12 teams. I know I'm not gonna get 12 women's teams. If I could get a good 6,
6 teams, yeah.
and then you know what I mean, we'll run it that way, and then hopefully it grows.
You like the 1950s NBA? Give them an 82-game season. 16.
That's it. That's
You
it.
know what I
Rock
mean?
out.
If you know any
Y'all
girl,
gotta play 5-game
if
series.
you guys know any girl teams, like leave the information in the comments and all that.
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. Let's get
Definitely
it.
look
Let's
into
get it.
that.
Let's get it going.
Definitely. But yeah, we out. Follow us at the Indio Group page. We going like I said, Dave's been on me and I've been slacking, man. But we gotta take this to the next level. So it's definitely gonna happen. Just about finding time, man. We people that got stuff going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's definitely gonna step up next level. Thanks everybody for the support. So follow us on Facebook, Indio Group page, and yeah, man. Look for us next week. Hopefully we'll have all of these series decided, and we'll be talking about the conference finals. So, yeah.
Shout out to Hees for coming on the show, man.
Yeah,
thank
shout
you,
out to
thank you,
Hees.
thank you
And
for
shout
having
out to
me,
Mac for these whack questions. We out.
Don't do my boy B Mac like that.